Good evening, this is Librarian DOA with a short recap of The Queen is Dead, this week's episode of Once Upon a Time. Snow and her mother are preparing for Snow White's birthday. Snow gets a little lesson in humility from her mother. Her mother is the coolest queen ever, and they shouldn't have killed her off right away. They should get rid of Cora and put Snow's mother in there, let's face it. Anyway, so there she's all nice and healthy, just like on Marcus Welby, and it's like, next thing you know, she's like having a heart attack, she's coughing up blood, she's laying dying on her bed. The king is nowhere to be seen. He doesn't come to see her when she's dying, and in fact, she's like laying there on her coffin. The king's nowhere. There's poor little Snow White, this heart-wrenching little girl who does such a good acting job. Her name is Bailey Madison. She's so cute. She is there having to deal with losing her mother, and somewhere right in the middle of this, Johanna, who I think is like some kind of a toady for Cora, because she just happens to be doing her bidding constantly, sends Snow White into the forest, a little girl into the forest in the middle of the night to try to find the blue fairy under the light of the moon and get something to help save her mother. Send a little girl out there in the woods in the middle of the night. Her mom is laying dying. Her father's God knows where. Hello. Nasty. But anyway, so the poor girl goes out there because she's brave as hell, even when she's little. And she goes out there and she doesn't even find the right star. And look, it's the blue fairy. And the blue fairy doesn't have any good magic for her, but she has some evil magic, just by chance, in the form of a candle. If Snow White puts this candle over the heart of someone else and lights it, Snow White's mother will live, and this person will die. Well, it's not a burden for a little child. She is her mother's daughter. She is unable to do it. There's this heart-rending scene where she tells her mother that she could have saved her, but she would have had to take someone else's life to do it. And her mother is so gracious and says, "I'm so proud of you. You've done the right thing." It really choked me up. Anyway, so, meanwhile, back in New York, Hook has found, what's his beans? Gold. So he's found him. He not only finds him, but he comes cruising in at high speed and puts his hook into his chest, and then it gets all grody and like infected and stuff like that. So Hook, we don't really care, ends up knocked over the head and down in the basement of the building, while everybody else tries to find a way back to Storybook post-haste, because their Gold will be healed because he's a Dark One, and magic will heal him because the Dark One can't die, blah, 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 right? Anyway, so it turns out that, yes, Balefire, who we think is so icky and grody and slimy and is not good enough for Emma anyway, oh my god, he's Peter Pan, and he can sail the ship. Come on, Peter Pan's a cool character. He's not this little old Slimer. Jeezy Pete. Anyway, so, and also our Slimer, Peter Pan, has a fiance who comes trotting up just at the last, just when poor Emma is thinking maybe they can all go back to Storybook, get something going, Henry will be happy, blah, blah, blah. No, he's got a fiance. Dog. Anyway, So we're left with that. We don't know what happens quite there. Nice little scenes with Henry trying to bond with Gold in New York, but Gold has the little, I was going to draw this cool thing on my hand with the little eye from the seer person, but I forgot. This would have been right at the point where you go, the seer. Anyway, so anyway, hair went funky during the day and see how it goes. So Gold is blaming Henry for everything bad here that has happened because the young man will be your downfall, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, poor Henry. Kid doesn't get a break. He's so resilient though, isn't he? Okay. Right. And back in Storybook, Snow and Charming are trying at high speed to find the dagger, the Rumpelstiltskin Dark-One dagger, before Cora does, so she doesn't become the Dark One or gain control of the Dark One. And they have it in their little mitts, but of course, poof, Cora, who is omniscient, and can be anywhere and is everywhere, comes popping in her little blue-purple puff of smoke with her daughter in tow, Regina, and they take the dagger away, throw Johanna, the toady, out the window. So poor Snow, who's all good and they see she'd be good to a little tiny nipper. So she decides at the end that she must kill Cora. She's going to go against everything she's ever believed, everything her mother taught her, and she's going to kill that nasty bat. So, kind of a dark episode. I loved Snow White's mother. And anything else you want to say here? Good thing I took notes, eh? Okay, so predictions. I think that Regina doesn't like seeing her mom at her desk, among other things, and she's gonna rise up against her at the last. And I would like to see Emma and Henry stand together and use the magic that they have, that they've not really used, to help in this battle and win the day and kick Cora out of town. So, next week, the episode is The Miller's Daughter, where we get Cora's backstory. I happen to have read Rumpelstiltskin, the actual story, 50 million times, and I know the Miller's daughter is not some nasty witch. She's just a poor girl, got snared by Rumpelstiltskin, who in the story is just kind of a weird little guy. He's not like Mr. Gold. That's it for this week. Have a happy time.